I always say this is going to be a short video. It always ends up longer than I anticipated. But time for a quick update. We've lost Mark for 3 or 4 weeks. He's gone back to the UK. He's left everything in order. And I'll come back to that shortly. But I think as far as we're all concerned, we are still getting over the loss of James, who we are going to miss so much. But James would have wanted us to continue and to carry on, and that's what we are doing. And there'll be more news about his memorial here a little later, perhaps just after Christmas. But just briefly, I have to say that we've moved the memorial at Georgia to the 19th of March, which is just before Ramadan starts, because he had so many Moroccan friends that they must have the opportunity to come before Ramadan. We've had a big straw delivery this morning, dare I say, £2,000 worth of straw to try and get us through the winter, because of course we have to keep the animals warm in stables. A huge thank you to everyone who's rallied around. Wonderful group in Scotland. You'll see their page raising funds for Georgia, and I just can't tell them how great they've been and how grateful we are. And also the lady who has the flamenco dancing school in the UK has been raising money, and people coming together like that just makes such a huge difference. Now on to something controversial. There's always something controversial at Georgia. Those of you that have visited will know that as you come off the main road and you turn up a narrow piste and then right into a piste that leads into our land, and you come along our piste that we built well within our land, within our boundaries, that is there to service the whole land. To the left of that piece is a Chaba, and I've mentioned before that we're very keen to see that Chaba opened because we think it's so important that the waterways in Morocco keep running. That is the Berber tradition, and we're 100% behind it. But we have had some difficulties. We are building a wall along our piste so that it'll be enclosed and the horses can exercise. We have permission on our original plans to build a wall. We've had authorization from the commune. We've been checked by just about everybody, and we are within our limits. But lo and behold, 3 lots of neighbours on the other side of the Chaba have taken us to court, saying that we have no right to build the wall because they actually want access from our land to their land. Well, that's just not acceptable. That piste was built by us for our property, and it's now very important for the donkeys and the horses and the mules. Looking forward, we had a narrow piece of land that came across our neighbour's land that was the right of way for us. And that always worked very well. In return for being given the right of way, Charles actually built the road, and that did work well until new sets of neighbours moved in. And we're going to have to consider that very carefully, because when it rains, that road is going to be washed away because the Chaba's been built. And that will prevent access to the refuge, and that's not acceptable. It also, as I've said before, is blocking the Chaba, or the small river that comes down from the mountains, which is not permissible. So we've had a big meeting here, and we all agree that we should make an application to the court to take it into our own hands and make a claim against these neighbours that have quite ruined our piste for compensation. Now, that's always risky, going to courts in Morocco, but we've been advised by various national bodies that that's the thing we should do. So what I'm going to do, and I hope all of you who support me understand, is we will never take a penny from the charity for that. And Charles and I will fund it to the best of our ability. But we think that we should also crowdfund. And part of the reason we should crowdfund is we can actually tell the story. Because what happens here in Morocco is that the laws are fine, the government isn't that difficult, the powers to be around the king are excellent, but by the time it gets to local level, historically a lot of corruption has taken place, and we will not be party to corruption. So if we are telling the story and you're all contributing to that, that is a way of breaking through to save the refuge, to save the waterway. You will all be involved, and that in the long run will be very, very good for Morocco. I hope you understand, and if any of you disagree with me, I'm sure you'll let me know. We're going to do a video very shortly of the animals and the straw coming in and how busy everybody is. I'm also going to do a video of all the olive trees, because when Mark went back to the UK and I took some back last week, we took a lot of soap, and that's going well, it's going wonderfully. We've advertised our soap and we're very nearly sold out. So that's something to look forward to. A new batch of soap being made, but I want you all to see where the soap comes from. It's absolutely pure, and it comes from our magnificent olive trees that are so magnificent because they're looked after well and they are manured well. At the end of the harvest, we use the old manure from the donkeys, and they contribute to the health of the new crop, and it becomes very cyclical. So more about that soon. Thanks for now, and bye.